Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Jeremy from Randolph Running Club, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about something that is very important to my channel, very important to me as a runner, the Garmin Vivoactive 3. Yes, I know this is a watch that came out in 2017. We're in 2020, so I figured it is as good a time as any. With the holiday season approaching, people are going to be out there getting gifts, buying smartwatches and things like that. Maybe you're a runner, you've never had a fitness watch or fitness tracker, and you're trying to get into that. So I think now is as good of a time as any, seeing as this is a watch that is definitely going to be on sale. It's still around. You can still buy it directly from Garmin and many other different retailers that support or sell Garmins. So I want to break this review down into about really 3 different aspects. The first thing, I'm going to talk about what the Garmin is not. I think a lot of people who are looking into this might be comparing it to a certain other watch from a different brand. I want to talk about what the Garmin is, number 2. And number 3, I'll talk about would I buy it again and who do I think that this watch is actually best for. So, jumping straight into it, number 1, I don't think if you're looking for an Apple Watch, if you have an Apple Watch on your mind and that's the type of experience you've seen your friends with them maybe, or your coworkers or whatever, and that's really what you're looking for, I want to make it very clear that the Garmin Vivoactive 3 is not an Apple Watch. I repeat, the Garmin Vivoactive 3 is not an Apple Watch. Okay. All right. If you clicked off the video there, there you go. All right. But here we go. So the reasons that I mentioned that is because the display is just, if you're used to the display on your phone, your Apple Watches, or even like an Android smartwatch or something, they have a very high resolution LCD or LED display. The Garmin uses something that the best I can describe it is more like an e-reader or something of that nature. So the colors aren't going to be quite as vivid. They're not going to pop quite as much. You're not going to be able to view pictures on this watch, which I guess who is really viewing pictures on their small watch display anyway, especially when you probably have your phone near you, but I digress. So what I'm trying to say here is if you're expecting that type of picture quality from this small watch display, it's just not going to happen. And I'll get into why that's actually not really that much of a drawback later on, but I figured I'd preface that here and say if that's something you're looking for, then maybe you're in the wrong place. Number 2, of why I think the Garmin is not an Apple Watch is because the App Store is it's smaller. It's not like going to the Apple App Store and basically every app that you could ever desire is there. Some things that are probably too sophisticated to manipulate on a watch, they're still there. There's still options for you. But here, it's a lot more limited. I mean, all of the basics that you would really need are there. Like if you have a Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music Edition, you can use Amazon Music, Spotify. I think there's a couple different ones, but things like that. Watch customization, all kind of different watch faces and different little apps. Like I downloaded an app that could allow me to track jump roping and things like that. So there's a Maps app and Uber app. So the very basics are there, but you're not going to find like a game that you can play or something of that nature. It's just a little bit more restrictive than what an Apple or an Android watch would offer. Now, point number 2, and I think what you'll find is there's a lot more points on what a Garmin watch is than there are what a Garmin watch is not. So, I think the really important thing here is just the build quality of the watch. It's very high, it's water resistant in fresh water. I learned that the hard way. I actually had a Vivoactive HR, I think a couple generations prior to this watch, and I took it swimming with me in the Atlantic Ocean, and it promptly died by being exposed to the salt water. But as long as you're swimming in a pool or something of that nature, a river, something fresh water, it's very water resistant. I shower with this thing every single day. I've never had a problem with it. I've gone swimming with it, have had 0 problems with it. It has a Gorilla Glass display, so it's highly scratch resistant and somewhat impact resistant. I take this with me when I go to the gym, and I'm really not afraid to kind of bang it around while I'm lifting weights and doing things of that nature. So I think it will serve you really well if you're seeking something that's sturdy, durable. It also uses silicone straps, which are very nice. They don't really pinch my skin or grab my hairs or anything like that on my arm. And after months and months of use, I'm not really seeing any kind of fraying or anything, which I've noticed. I've had like a Fitbit, I'm blanking on the name, Fitbit Charge, there we go. And the strap kind of gave up the ghost after a couple months, just taking it into the gym and running every day and things of that nature. So I really like the build quality of this. It hasn't shown really any scratches or anything of that nature, and I wear it every single day, never take it off unless I'm charging it, and it's just been a really good experience. So really, really high build quality. Another great point for what the Garmin watch is that it has phenomenal battery life. If you are looking at this and you're a person who owns an Apple Watch or an Android Wear watch, you will be so pleased with the battery life on this Garmin. I think that they say the battery life lasts 7 days in just standard watch mode, and then when you're using GPS, I think it's 13 hours. I can tell you right now, I go on a run every single day, or a bike ride, and they tend to be around the hour-long range, maybe a little bit less or a little bit longer, depending if it's a really easy day or a long run day. And I charge this watch every 4 or 5 days. Whereas I know for a fact, even the latest Apple Watch, I think the battery life is like 18 hours. So best case scenario, you're charging this every day, So this watch, it's great. It can do sleep tracking and things of that nature. So you'll be able to wear it every single night, and a really quick charge. I think if I leave this plugged up to my computer or something of that nature for about 30 to 45 minutes, I'm ready to go back up at 100%. So the battery life is phenomenal, even with heavy GPS usage. So really good things, especially if you're a person who's planning on running a half or a full marathon. This thing will get you to the very end, no matter what time you're finishing in. Another big thing here is, obviously, this is a fitness tracker first and foremost. It is also a smartwatch, but the primary goal of any Garmin product is, fitness-based, outdoors-based. And this is just such a phenomenal workout tracking device. As you can see, I'm gonna throw up a video here, but it has running, walking, biking, weightlifting, rowing, golfing, swimming, every type of thing that you could ever think of is there. And even things that I did not mention, right? So I mentioned things that I've done before. So I have them preloaded on my device, but if you're a person who does indoor cycling or the elliptical or anything of that nature, this watch can track all of those things. You can even throw it on like a cardio mode if you're doing like a high intensity interval training core class or something of that nature. So it's really great. It tracks your calories. You can input your weight, things that you've been eating, how much water you've been drinking. So if your primary goal is to focus on fitness and get all of those metrics, this watch will not let you down. I really enjoy it because prior to having a smartwatch, I was tracking my runs and my bike rides and things of that nature on my phone. And when you're using the phone, you're getting some metrics, you're getting your pace, the whole distance that you traveled and things of that nature. But once you unlock the potential of using this watch, you start to get a little bit more, right? You get your cadence, so how many times your feet are touching the ground per minute. You start to get things like elevation changes, so you can know how hilly that hilly course you were on was, or even things like GPS features and things of that nature, so you can actually have turn-by-turn directions like right there on your wrist. So I think that is something that's really important to me, and I wanted to highlight that here for you guys as well, just in case you're on the fence saying, hey, why do I need this in the first place? I use my phone. And I also think that really quickly here, covering a few more important things, is that even though the display is not quite as vibrant as like an Apple Watch or something of that nature, it is completely visible in direct sunlight. So when I'm out there on a run wearing polarized shades and everything, I can look down at this and I can always see the information that's on the screen. I'm never worried about missing something. And that's just not something you're gonna get from something with an LCD display. You notice when you take your phone out in the sun, you have to crank the brightness up to the max level so that you can see it. On this, I can have the brightness at the lowest setting and I can still see it no matter where I am. So very, very good feature there. And then also you can control your phone and also use basic applications. So on my watch, I can control my music. I can see text messages coming in, or if I have a call coming in, which is very, very helpful, especially if I'm in like a meeting or something where it's kind of unprofessional to pull my phone out, but I can glance down at my watch and say, oh, okay, cool. Like that's who's calling me. Like this is important. Maybe I need to take this. Or if it's a text message or something, I can do a really quick response to it and just say like, okay, or I'll call you back. And lastly, I think the update support from Garmin on this watch is just spot on, top notch. Their customer support is really good too if you have any problems, but this watch just got an update, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that for me. And it came out in 2017, guys. It's 2020 and this watch is still getting updates. I mean, that's crazy to me. And just really great customer support, really good on Garmin looking out for their customers and making sure that any vulnerabilities of the watch, so for your own security, but also for the performance of the watch, are being updated constantly. And I think that's something that really shows that they stand by the product and they stand by their customers. So last but not least, would I buy it again, and who do I think this watch is best for? So I'm gonna say, even though I've said all these good things about the watch, I personally would not have bought this again, but I think that's because I fall into a very specific demographic. So I guess I'll start with who I think this watch is best for. I think it's best for a person who, maybe you're just trying to see, do I want a smartwatch? Do I want a fitness tracker that can tell me a little bit more data and different metrics that my watch can't tell me, or that I'm not able to get just going out and working out on my own? I think this is a great first step because it does everything that you need, right? It does sleep tracking, it does your gym workout tracking. You can put, basic apps and things like that and control your phone, but it's not gonna break the bank. I got it for about $130, and I know that it's possible for you to get it for cheaper than that. For sure, you could get it certified pre-owned or even used, and definitely get it for under $100 and know that you're having a quality product there. But I think it's great just to dip your toes into the water and see if it's something you want. And on top of that, if you're a person who you're a casual runner, maybe you're a person who you might do a 10K or 2 a year, something of that nature, can't really go wrong here. I think it's gonna have more than enough data for you. And I really do think it's a great watch, but I would say the reason that I wouldn't personally buy it again is because I have been kind of interested in maybe experimenting with like a Stride foot pod or something of that nature, or like a chest strap, heart rate monitor, things of that nature. And this watch isn't really compatible with those types of items. So I think, and I'm by no means like an elite athlete or anything like that, but I do think that like a Garmin 245 Forerunner or 645 or something that has a few more features that are more run specific or more triathlete specific, so somebody who's biking and swimming as well, I think that would really help. Although I think I've gotten all that I need out of this watch, I just think there's a few more pieces of data that I'd like to get during my daily workouts that I just can't quite get here, So just some things to keep in mind. But if you're not a person, if you're not planning on training for a marathon or something, or you're just kind of working out for the fitness of it and the joy of working out, I think you're gonna enjoy it. I think it would be more than enough. And honestly, I think this is a gift that you could get as a stocking stuffer or something. If you have a teenager asking you for a watch or something of that nature, I see no reason why this wouldn't be a good fit for that type of demographic. So just some things to keep in mind. But thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really would appreciate it if you guys like this content, if you go and hit that like button, hit the subscribe, chat with me in the comments, whatever it may be. I'm always down to talk to you guys. So as always, stay blessed, inspire others, and stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys in the next one.